There are certain places in which no one should go. Places that some say hold on to the tragic memories of their past. Places in which said things that can't be seen can be felt. Join us as we travel to these locations in hopes of sorting out fact from fiction in the search for solid proof of contact after death. We will present it all to you, and in the end, you must decide and ask yourself, but is it haunted?
On tonight's episode, we will take you inside Kretschmann's Pub Cinema in the bustling town of Webster, Massachusetts, a place, as you will soon see, runs deep in tragic histories and legends. Tonight, we've enlisted the help of local paranormal team, MassCon Paranormal, to head this evening's investigation. So sit back and relax, but remember, we need your help in deciding. We will give you the legends, the facts, and the investigative findings. And in the end, we'll be asking you, but is it haunted?
So yeah, Kretschmann's. This is going to be interesting tonight.
Definitely. It's got quite the back history to it.
Definitely does. I mean, we're talking Prohibition, we're talking vaudeville, Marine Corps, private bar, you know. I mean,
Called the Bucket of Blood?
The Bucket of Blood. I mean,
Crazy.
That's interesting.
It is. They actually recently got footage of anomaly or
an apparition, whatever you want to call it. It seems 3 a.m.'s the hot time.
Yeah.
Where security cameras go off, the alarm's gone off a few times.
Police have shown up.
Yeah, so, you know, hopefully 3 a.m. tonight, something interesting happens.
The owner, Brian, he's heard footsteps, and not just regular footsteps. It was like footsteps and heels, like heels of footsteps.
Right, which could be
Heeled
back
shoes,
to the time, the heeled shoes. It was a dance hall at one time as well, so you've got...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You've got the people that are, they're
Polish...
dressed to the nines, headed out to go dancing for the night, so that would, that could be part of that.
Mm-hmm. It was the Polish Falcons Club.
The Falcons, yes. I think that's how it originated. I think it was the Polish Falcons Club.
Yeah.
Curious to see what the sensitives pick up on.
Yeah. See if it's stuff that we've noticed or if they're actually going to pick up on something else.
Right. Because they know nothing about the history of the place. And we're going to keep that way until after we do the walkthrough and see what they hit on. And we'll take it from there then.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Almost immediately during the initial walkthrough, our cameras started acting erratically. We experienced the video dropping out and then coming back, as well as the audio picking up nothing but white noise. Other equipment experienced battery drainage and then coming back with some power.
And it just died.
Okay.
And I just tried powering it on again and recording again, and it
Completely dead?
died again.
Okay, yeah. We just took that off the charger before we left.
And then it says it's like half
Half full
charged.
now?
I don't know if it even stayed. And I was just about to start talking about how I was feeling something. All of a sudden, it just died. I had the light on and everything, and it just died.
At this point in the investigation, the team felt it was time for their walkthrough. A walkthrough is a preliminary investigative technique that allows us to compare what the paranormal sensitives hone in on versus what the known facts and legends are. All right, what are you sensing? What are you sensing?
Maybe somebody getting stuck in here. Somebody trying to open it up. And it's like, something like, walks behind you, like, why can't I open it? And then it opens. I'm seeing old-fashioned type suits.
Like 1918?
I'm thinking
1918
to the late 20s.
Yeah.
I did notice Kenny looking over into this area.
Over here? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe somebody shuffling. There's definitely a fighter here.
Definitely a fight or two?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Very heavy in the chest area. Almost feel like can't catch your breath in falling.
Do you feel like any kind of specific sex or age?
I want to say it's a man. 50s?
Okay.
But I definitely feel a heaviness in the chest. A little nauseous too, actually. Oh, like that right there is just like thick. Like somebody's just. And then up here, like I was saying downstairs, like people walking up, maybe at the end of the night, would see a shadow in the corner of their eye. What I would call a shadow painting. There would just be like a glimpse in
Okay.
the corner of the eye. There's a reason why I turned around earlier than when I go down here. Now I know why. It's nauseous. I don't like it. I'm mad at you. When I turned around, there's a reason why I didn't want to go further in.
You said there was nothing there.
I know, because I felt nauseous.
Okay.
That's fine. That's great.
So, Kenny just told me that him saying that he's nauseous,
Yeah.
and or just saying nope, there's nothing there.
Yep.
It's a defense. I made him go into the bathroom because I wanted to see if he caught something because I hate you. Because he did get something.
Almost like that sensation that you know something that you're not supposed to know. This place was a secret.
Okay.
Like
what?
from certain people, like it was something about it a lot of people knew about, but from I'm not sure, from like they some sort of illegal activities, I guess. I'm starting to get more of a feeling, like, along with the secretive thing, I'm starting to feel almost like if some people started learning too much,
Okay.
something happened to them.
Okay.
Not quite sure if it was I'm feeling like they were taken care of, almost like
Taking care of, like
Like
we're talking like mafia kind of
beating,
stuff?
yeah, something along those lines. I'm not quite sure if it's mafia type, but definitely along those. If you started knowing certain things, they made sure you weren't going to talk anymore.
Okay, yeah, all right. Close knit.
Yeah, inner circle stuff.
Yep.
The camera dying twice when it was, you said, fully charged.
Yeah, and I don't know if
It's
you noticed,
weird.
if he mentioned after, if you heard him, but after he came downstairs, just charged again.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got battery again, so it was charged again.
Probably a fun place to do a
Fancy.
lights out.
See, it's like, it keeps like,
Toggling back and forth.
Wouldn't do that earlier.
so that kind of weirded me out. And I have like, I was doing like a talking thing, and I was just about to like say, oh, I'm like, but like, just like, immediately shut up as soon as I was about to like, start talking about what I was feeling. So
That's crazy. That's awesome. Anything else, anybody?
So, doing the walkthrough downstairs, I definitely felt the cooler, the refrigerator. Like I said earlier, somebody go in and maybe they'd try to go out and it'd feel locked, and then you'd open it up. Like they'd be like, oh, it must have just been a freak thing or whatever. Definitely going up the stairs, I felt nauseous. I felt heavy in the chest, almost an older gentleman that maybe had been ill.
Now,
Maybe.
you were also over in the corner underneath the
In
stairs
the corner
there too.
underneath,
Yeah.
shuffling maybe of chairs. Don't know if the gentleman had a heart attack, but it was just heavy in the chest, so it could have been pneumonia. Earlier when I came up here, I lied to Lauren and said, no, the bathroom's good, because I really just didn't want to go down there, because that freaked me out a lot.
Defense
And
mechanism.
even, natural defense mechanism. And then, going through there, it definitely gave me the creeps. I felt my arm being grabbed over there, but when we were up in the attic, it was mostly the energy that I was feeling was from that down the stage down there. So that half. Anything else? Oh, so I was also saying earlier, when somebody's locking up, you'd hear footsteps, but you're the only one here, and you second guess yourself, like, is there somebody else here? I think that's it for now.
Now, Travis, you usually, you're new to the sensitive kind of thing. And
Yeah.
You said you had some feelings too. today.
When we went downstairs, I got like almost a nauseous feeling. One of those feelings like a nervous type. You realize something or found something out and like your stomach just kind of drops kind of feeling. And as we did the walkthrough, I started feeling almost something secretive with the place. Some people knew it, others didn't really know. And then the more that I tried to focus on that, I started getting almost like an inner circle type feeling, and those that started learning too much might have been taken care of in some way. Definitely feeling like an older kind of energy. Like when we were downstairs, we said like 19, 18 to maybe the late 20s.
Now, the
Kinda
thing that got me,
feeling.
what you said earlier, is you were saying that you came downstairs and you said something secretive.
Yes.
So that was, for us, for the two of us, that rang a bell.
Light bulb,
Yeah.
instantly.
With the initial walkthrough complete, it was time to bring in business owner Brian Kretschmann for a lesson in history and legends.
Well, I can at least speak to what you just said, Travis. Secretive. During Prohibition time, there was a smuggling network out of Canada, and part of that network was smuggling booze down the French River, which is right behind the building here. The legend says that there were two brothers from Hungary, Hungarian brothers in town, owned this building. This was a warehouse, a checkpoint to bring the booze in where it would be distributed to other places. Now these two Hungarian brothers, the legend says that they were ruthless. They were businessmen, but they were ruthless. So if you knew too much, saw too much, talked too much, they'd invite you to the warehouse, which is where we're standing right now. And they would get rid of you. And legend says that if they didn't toss your body in the river, which I don't think they would do often because they didn't want to bring any attention to themselves, they would bury you in the basement of this building. The basement had always been a dirt basement. Today the basement is the bar. So there is a concrete floor down there now that the current landlord, when we renovated the building, had poured. They did dig down about 3 feet of the dirt floor that was originally there. And they never found any remains, but they did find old bottles that date back like liquor bottles that date back to Prohibition.
So that was pretty good. And
Pretty good.
You had said what?
So when I was coming in, I think Logan and I went out to the car. I came in and I was like, bonjour. And I don't even know why I said I just opened the door saying that.
Oh, because of the French River, yeah.
French
I don't
River,
even know the
Canada.
area. But
No,
when he
you
was
know,
saying
yeah.
Canada and French,
French River,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Also, the place was used for vaudeville at one point in time.
Yep, it was a vaudeville theater. So then there was a legend there too, where there was this girl named Lily and her sister. They used to perform here when it was a vaudeville theater, and one day, it wasn't here, but at the apartment or wherever they lived in Webster, the Lily went to use the outhouse one night and she never returned, and she never went to her job the next day where she worked at the mill, the big mill complex down the road. So they went looking for her, couldn't find her, and then 2 weeks later they found her dead body in an abandoned corn crib not far from here in Oxford. And upon doing an autopsy, they decided it was a homicide. And digging into it more, they found out that she was 7 months pregnant. And digging into it further, there were some speculation that the father of the child was a very influential politician in the area, and a cover-up might have been what was going on with the child. So I guess it turned out that maybe there was some admission to it, maybe not in a legal sense, but the sister was in on this taking care of the baby. They wanted to force an abortion onto Lily, so they chloroformed her, and they unfortunately over chloroformed her, killed her, so she died of being chloroform poisoned. But they were going to give her a forced abortion, and then upon panicking, they dumped her body in the corn crib. Now, nothing legal ever happened because this guy was so influential, he just paid everybody off, and so no charges were ever filed, or nobody got arrested for it. But it's kind of a murder that was in vain, I suppose. And but she used to perform here, and so that's another legend. People say, the other legends of the building, people say that there are at least 2 confirmed spirits here, and one of them is of an old gentleman, and the other one is of a lady. But that's all I know.
Now, when we were downstairs, you brought up brawls.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of fights.
Yeah. Because that's what I was feeling, a couple of fights. And,
The 1980s, 1990s, from what I found out in the archives, what I saw, this was a Marines club called the Bucket of Blood.
It was like a brawl every night.
Because I was saying, like, I kept getting the feeling of being hit in the back of the head.
Yeah.
You know?
It
Like
had a
the neck
reputation.
area in the head.
Yeah.
It had a reputation for
The name in
brawls.
itself, the Bucket of Blood.
Yeah.
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 It wasn't the type of place you'd bring your family.
So we also brought some music that's time period. We've got vaudeville stuff, so we can maybe get triggered. We've got some Prohibition music, and we've got some Marines cadences and stuff. So we can try to bring something out with that, you know, attract. So you guys did
And Brian,
awesome.
what year was this built?
Building was built in 1878. It's 151 years old.
He was close.
What's that?
It
What's
said
that?
I said
1863.
1863.
Imagine finding yourself in such a place on a daily basis. One has to ask, what have you experienced?
The creepiest part is at night when you're closing down the room by yourself and you turn off the hallway light, and I have to turn off the lights from that side of the room and then walk in the dark to get to the doorway over there. And it just always feels like
Now,
you're
have
being
you
watched.
ever seen any, like, shadows go by?
No, I haven't seen any shadows, but footsteps, yes.
Footsteps?
Yeah, you were straight on with that. That's it's creepy in there.
Well, they actually have video footage of an apparition.
The following was recorded on an in-house closed-circuit security system at 3 a.m. This system is motion activated. Pay close attention to the upper left-hand side. Let's play that original footage one more time, followed by an enhanced, zoomed, looped version. Though grainy from zooming in so much, you can still see the movement of the feet, the legs, the swinging of the arms, and the position of the head.
It's right here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was it here or was it downstairs?
No,
it was here. Okay.
It was right here. And strangely enough, a lot of times when the footsteps are heard, they're also right here. And I mean, I've heard the footsteps myself when I'm here by myself, even before we took this part of the building as our lease, when we only had the downstairs, even before the stairway was built, because we had built the stairway as a connection. I used to hear footsteps up here when nobody occupied this place. And they always were in this vicinity, and it always walked around in a circle. And then one night, when we did take this room as part of our lease, and I ended up sleeping here overnight because I was working late and I had to come back the next day, so I just decided I'd sleep here. And I woke up in the early morning hours hearing those footsteps again, and this time I was in the same room as them. And it took me a while coming out of a sleep to focus on what I was hearing. But when I realized what I was hearing, it was footsteps in the room. It was coming from this vicinity, but I didn't see anything.
And you're the only one in.
The only one in. And then I dove into my sleeping bag and didn't come out.
He was telling us earlier, his wife likes to sometimes, his camera's all over here. She can access it from home. And we were here, was it Wednesday or Thursday or something? Wednesday. Yeah,
It was a Wednesday.
We were here last week or 2 weeks ago, and that day there was smoky form or whatever, something like that, right?
She called it like
Mass.
a black void, like
Black
shadow.
void that was moving around. And
She saw that on the camera, but the way she described it was, it went from one side of the room to the other as she described it. She said it was like the speed of light. It went here, and then it jumped over here, and then it jumped in the back. And she said when it jumped closer to the camera, it had other reflective qualities that looked like eyes, and then it would jump back. She said it happened for quite some time before it stopped. But that was a first. I've never seen that before.
and that was downstairs?
Downstairs. Most of the time things happen up here, not really downstairs, but there were times where people came up here when it wasn't when there was nobody up here. Customers came up here just to check it out, and then they'd walk downstairs, and people down in the bar were positive that somebody was walking behind them down the stairs or following them downstairs. It's just how it sounded to them. Weird stuff.
No, have you or anyone that works here felt threatened or by any of the stuff?
No, I mean, in my opinion, for what I've experienced here, it almost seems very passive. With the exception of one incident, it's almost like it doesn't know I'm here, but there was one incident, it took place in the men's room, but I was closing up one night and I checked the bathrooms before I leave, make sure there's nobody in there. I went in the ladies' room, nobody there. I went in the men's room, nobody there. And walking down the hallway, I was about to turn off the light, and I hear a ruckus coming from the men's room. I go back there and turn on the light, and all I saw was the lid from the same trash can that's in there now. The lid was just swinging to a stop, and I didn't see anything else. I checked the trash can. First thing I thought of was possibly a rodent or something, but I didn't see anything. And then I just got the hell out of here.
Do you have any words of encouragement, Captain?
Slaughter them all.
Aye, aye, Captain.
You're a Viking, not a pirate.
We're Viking pirates. We got a boat. We do whatever the hell we want.
That was amazing. Yes. We should take a selfie with Matthew.
Oh, hey there. Welcome to my Viking ship. We came at a great time. We just landed at a haunted bar.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of dust up here.
So the camera just died and turned back on as soon as I started feeling something over here. In the corner right next to the window.
So I have it set to the night shot.
Because
So
we're
when
going
we all
off.
go back downstairs, I'm going to unplug the lights so it's lights out up here. Focused on the bell and see. And the cool thing about the bell is that it's perfectly still.
Right.
And I mean, that camera has been rolling on it constantly to see that it's completely still. So if we have a shot where it starts swaying a little bit, and there's nothing, there's no air vents, there's no system
There's
up
no
here.
windows, there's no
way
air up
to
here.
cause a draft whatsoever. So if that does start moving,
Currently about to do the Ouija board.
First patented by Elijah Bond in 1891 and said to have been named Ouija after a session with Elijah Bond's sister-in-law, Miss Peters. It is stated that upon using the board during the session, it named itself Ouija. And when asked what it meant, the board replied, "Good luck."
Thank anybody who wishes to connect with us. We appreciate it. We do ask that it is for the greater good. Any negative or malevolent spirits, we ask to keep your distance. We only wish to receive messages for the greater good. So mote it be.
So mote it be?
What is your name?
S.
S.
T.
STS.
What are you feeling over there?
I just felt like tingling on my hip. Did you feel something?
My leg.
Parlez-vous français? Well, that sucks because that's all I know.
Yes.
That's all I know.
Do we have anyone else that speaks French? No.
Do you speak and understand English? Can you communicate with us in English?
L-I-T.
What did it spell?
L-I-T-T.
So instead, we'll ask anybody who's willing to connect with us that might be associated with this establishment. feel free to step forward and connect with us.
Is there anybody that would like to communicate with us at this time?
Yes. Please spell out your name. F R A N.
Okay.
Okay. We got Frank. Are you associated with this establishment? What year?
$1921.
1921.
So Frank sounds like it could be from the Prohibition era.
Are you from the Prohibition era? Yes. Did you come here often?
Yes.
How old are you, Frank?
I was just going to ask that question.
56.
56.
Did you ever get into any fights down here in the bar?
Yes.
Did you suffer from chest pain?
Yes. Was that the cause of your death? No.
With one word, Frank, how did you die?
B.
L.
L.
O.
O. O.
D.
Blood.
Frank, were you murdered?
I.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't seem, yeah, he doesn't know how he died. He did admit to chest pains
And blood.
and blood.
So I was asking the spirit. First, I told the spirit how to use the pendulum. So I have a pendulum board. If it goes vertically, it's yes, no. Horizontal is no. Then diagonal, maybe or will not answer. My first question was, is there a spirit with me? And it's clearly saying yes. As you can see, it's going down pretty well. Then I asked him, has he strangled anybody? And it was saying yes, because that's the feeling I was getting in this bathroom, that somebody was strangled. Were you part of the Prohibition area? Era? Sorry. So that's no, he wasn't part of the Prohibition era. Were you the spirit that the owner could hear. I would say maybe. Is there more than one spirit in this bathroom? That's a yes.
We were doing some candle stuff earlier, and the flame was like...
we were doing some witchy stuff in there.
The flame was as big as a candle.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like, now it's...
It was, the flame was as big as the candle.
That's gnarly.
The year was 1848. Two sisters, Margaret and Kate Fox, claimed they had made contact with a deceased peddler and thus began the birth of modern spiritualism. Fire, the most ancient of all tools. Candle magic involves someone gifted enough to gaze into the fiery flames for visions or answers to questions. The answers are perceived in the flame. No matter where you are during the day, the light brings comfort and joy. But what happens when the lights go out?
So, while we were over there doing the candle magic, trying to make contact, Kenny and I were standing off to the side observing, and we both almost simultaneously turned to look towards this end of the room, and we both had the same, both saw what appeared to be a black figure at this end of the bar. So we wanted to grab the detector and come down here and see if there was any activity, because we were both feeling it, and we both thought we had heard a voice. And Kenny was actually saying that he felt like he got hit in the head.
So when I panned out this way, it looked like there was a face. So it was
In
just
the
like,
window?
No, it was like
Right over in that direction.
right
In the mirror, I thought I saw something
right
in the mirror.
here, and it was like these two were right here, and there was a face. It was like right in this direction. Oh, I don't like that.
In the mirror, I kind of saw a movement.
Did you hear a cough?
I did too. I heard
But I
something, but I
think
thought it
it
was
was
maybe.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned and then I looked and I saw a face and I was gone.
Is there someone or something down here with us? If there is, see this little green light? Try to play with that a little bit.
If it's easier, knock once for yes, twice for no.
Yeah. Right?
I'm feeling that stomach drop, like that sixth sense hair on the back of your neck.
I've had that pretty much since we went over there and came back.
Get the hell out of here feeling.
I mean, I think.
Something is pulling me to get out of here, but something is making me want to stay. Facing this way, and kind of over here talking to them, and like he all of a sudden just like went quiet, and because he thought he saw a face like here. So just to my height, he thought he saw a face up like this tall.
Halo.
We asked you guys if anybody was over there, We heard it literally sounded like footsteps going down the stairs, creaking and all, and we saw a shadow. So that's when we came up and asked. You guys said no, nobody was over there, but you just said goodbye.
Right.
Yeah.
We heard a couple more noises while we were down there, and then towards, I don't know, probably about 5-10 minutes ago, we heard noise again by the stairs and saw a shadow again. And then there was nothing. Like, we weren't even really getting that uneasy feeling that we had before.
Yeah, up here, the K2 was going from 0 to half, just stuttering back and forth, and then as Kenny stated that he feel it, yeah, the word. He felt, yeah, he felt uneasy, and it was not right, and it started spiking, and it was like literally stuck on a quarter, because it didn't make a crazy noise. They said goodbye, like literally a couple
Split seconds.
yeah, 15
Nothing.
seconds after you came upstairs. You guys come down the stairs? Right after he said goodbye. Did you hear that? Oh, okay, it's on top of the stairs.
Are you sure?
No, I gotta check. I don't know, did you guys hear that conversation?
Yeah, but I don't think it went upstairs. I didn't even hear them move.
Now we're all in the bathroom. Nobody's upstairs.
No way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're not on the stage?
No, they're in the bathroom.
Oh, things are happening and I need to see.
Joe shut off the camera to record, and Mandy came up over that. So he's got the voice box. So it comes up, it says like random words, it'll read it on the screen. Right as he shut the camera off and stopped recording it, Mammy popped up, and that's a vaudeville act. It's a blackface.
Knowing the building's ties to vaudeville, prohibition, as well as the Marines, we decided to use music as a trigger.
Just got really hot.
I was downstairs with the Ouija board.
I'm wearing a sweater, but
I took mine off. I'm still wearing it.
Join Travis.
So Logan, we went through everything. What did you experience tonight?
Okay.
Wow. That was a ghost radar.
I thought I said help.
I don't know.
I don't know where that was found. Overall, I felt like sometimes it was on and off. Sometimes we were catching some stuff. Sometimes it was a dead zone. But overall, I think we got some good stuff. I was a little freaked out at some times when we were communicating with some spirits, but I think it went pretty well.
How about you, Ken? Kenny?
First initial walkthrough, you know, I was getting a lot of feedback from downstairs around the stairwell. Also got a little nervous in the bathroom area. And definitely we heard throughout the night footsteps, a couple conversations, could smell tobacco with a little bit of vanilla in it. Had a lot of interaction with the Ouija board, a lot of messages coming through. Overall, haunted.
Well, we're gonna let them decide whether it's haunted or not.
Right.
Footsteps. A lot of footsteps. The tobacco smell downstairs. A few things we were able to debunk. But active.
Karen.
I felt something on my hip, like a tingling at one point. I felt my hair being pulled, several shadows down, especially downstairs. I thought there was a lot of activity, and you know, heard the footsteps, heard lots of creaking. I think I connected with my Stephanic ancestors, which was pretty cool. I kind of want to look into that a little bit more. So I thought it was a very successful investigation.
Carissa, how about you?
I just felt really uneasy downstairs. Felt like I was being watched when we were upstairs in the attic, but I just felt overall uneasy in here.
Definitely a lot of activity going on. A lot of footsteps. Definitely. Especially around the stairs, just like Lauren had said. Normally on ghost hunts, I don't get that uneasy feeling as much as I did tonight downstairs. Every part of me wanted to come back upstairs, but at the same time, I wanted to also stay down there. But yeah, definitely one of the most active ones that I've been on, I feel.
Nice.
Danny, what's your take on it?
I love this place. It's for me, it's very calming. It's very, it's kind of homey. It just feels right. I was very impressed with the way that the sensitives picked up on everything before it was revealed to them. As far as how things went, we saw something downstairs. It was like a light and like a shadow kind of thing. We ended up debunking that. It's actually at the top of the hill over here is a LED billboard, and it's actually reflecting through the mist onto the wall. So we debunked that, but probably a couple minutes after that, we heard a conversation from the stairs, and that's why we contacted you on the walkies to see if you guys were up front over here and you guys were out back. So we don't know what that was. Kenny and I heard a crackle towards the back. There was nobody back there. It almost sounded like a campfire.
That's when we were down there, I'd actually asked Justice and Karen if they had heard that.
Really?
I heard the same, it sounded just like a campfire crackle.
Once or twice maybe
Yeah,
I heard it.
Just a quick little...
Yeah. Overall, it's pretty decent, yeah.
So Justice.
Behind the camera guy.
So this was your first experience. What do you think? I mean, did you feel anything? Did you feel uneasy at any point in time? Did you experience anything?
I did not like downstairs.
You did not like downstairs. Why?
Just felt uneasy? Did you feel like you're being watched?
Touched? No.
It was mentioned earlier that you had a fight or flight response.
It was just not right down there.
Not right, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense if that's where they did away with people that knew too much and put them onto the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that thought.
Electronic voice phenomenon is said to be the communication by spirits through tape recorders or other electronic devices. It's the recording of a sound that was not heard while recording, but present on the recorded playback.
So we started going through some audio and video looking for EVPs, and we came across this clip here. It's a static cam that is pointing directly at the stage. Nobody is in the room. The cameras are just rolling. The thing that caught our attention was at the beginning of the footage, right about here on the screen, you see an anomaly. It almost looks like a compression distortion, but it was enough to attract attention, which was great because we wouldn't have found this otherwise. Now, when you play it back, it's pretty much silent. There is a little bit showing up on the VU meter over here, but that's the sound of silence pretty much. Decided, okay, well, let's bring this into the audio editing program. Brought into the audio editing program. First thing you want to do in a situation like this is bring up the levels. So normalized it, and so you get a lot more static. You're bringing that floor noise up higher, so you're going to hear what sounds like white noise, and that's all you should hear. You should hear nothing else, but you can hear something else. We'll play it now. So, okay, can kind of hear something there, don't know what it is, so we've got too much noise. Decided, okay, well, let's add some, we're going to add some noise reduction. We're going to do it on the high level, just so we can hear, and this is what we have. The next clip, or should I say clips, you're going to see, because they were both filmed in the same room at the same time, but on opposite sides. Well, two different things were going on, but each camera picked up the same sound. What you're going to see is we're going to go through one by one. You're going to hear what some say sounds like a child, some say sounds like an animal, like a cat or something. But it is in there. Here we go.
Because I wanted to see if he talks and says, I hate you. Because he did get on.
Now, that's in this side of the room. Now, in this side of the room,
I made him go into the bathroom because I wanted to see if he caught something and says, I hate you. Because he did get
it's there as well.
something and says, I hate you.
What is it? We do not know. Now, this clip in particular is interesting. This sound was not heard while recording. On playback, it sounds like some kind of an angry grunt. Strange. This next clip here is from an audio source. We're going to bring it up in the editor, and we're going to boost up the volume to where it can be heard better, but we're going to get a lot of floor noise from the ambience.
As long as you can't see a person. Nope.
I saw a shadow.
As long as you can't see a person.
Nope. I saw a shadow.
So the last clip we're going to go through that has something that could be an EVP is an actual voice. It's totally understandable, it makes sense, but once again, it was not there, or not heard, I should say, upon recording, but it's clearly there after. The word good is believed to have been heard.
Are you gonna follow me home tonight? Good. Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Well, there you go. An evening inside Kretschmann's pub-style movie theater and beer garden. We hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun.
The show is over. Did you perhaps see or hear something that we did not? Did you have any odd feelings at any point during the show? This is where you come in. Log into Facebook and join us on our But Is It Haunted page and let us know what you think.
Or go to our website at www.butisithaunted.com and check out our forum. We want to hear from you.
Do you have or know of a location that we should visit? A place with a tragic past? Contact us with the details and it just might happen.
Are you a paranormal investigator, psychic, clairvoyant, or just sensitive to the supernatural? If so, we'd love to have you as a guest.
We'll see you next time.
Remember to always question everything, but overall, remember to ask yourself,
But is it haunted?